Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. In our last episode, we got some stuff up and running here. I just realized we need to hook up this tailings. Why don't we do this guy and this guy. We got tailings, we got sand, and the sand is here to become pure sand. And that can connect to this. Coming down. Does that connect? No, we'll need another straight section. Okay, so that'll connect the tailings up. So this is a sand maker, and the sand maker will supply sand to the pure sand makers if gravel is not currently running. And let's see, is that how we want to do it? I think so. Let's see, so if pure sand is backed up, these ones are going to run first. Which means these are going to run first once gravel's backed up. But these should keep running to supply these. I think this will work. I'm not totally sure. We also need to stop this if we have enough pure sand. Right? What's the amount we have in here? We're saying 16K of each. Okay. So, should I be measuring the pure sand from over there? I guess we already are on a radar, but do we even need that anymore? I don't think we do. That was for the original idea where I was gonna mine more stone, but we're no longer doing that. We're now just making sand with the intention of making pure sand. So that's not a thing anymore. So then I guess if pure sand is backed up, it's just a problem if these belts are running, because then they're prioritizing themselves over this stuff, which we don't want to do. Or do we? I mean, it's all gonna go get burned anyway. I guess these are probably cheaper energy-wise than all of this, though? Probably. So if we're just gonna burn the gravel anyway, it's better to use the gravel to make sand than use the soil to make sand, I think? I don't know, but we get tailings out of this. So there's kind of a benefit here. I actually don't know the right answer to that trade-off. We spend more energy to make sand this way, but we get tailings. That is an interesting one. Because if gravel... These are only running if gravel's empty here. But if gravel's empty here, that means these are not making sand and we need some extra sand. So I think that's fine. And then once sand backs up, then as soon as gravel runs here, then the gravel will stay there because it won't have an output of sand onto these. But yeah, I think that's all fine. All right, so let's work on more glass now. How did gravel get into here? I wonder if that was when we still had our issues from before. All right, so we need a butt ton of pure sand coming in here. I might turn this into a requester because this is no longer doing anything. Uh-oh. Oh wait, are we still getting boron trioxide with a caravan? I guess we are. Because I need another Glassworks here. Glassware. Glassworks. I said both of those words correctly. And so what we're gonna do, this is inconvenient. Or this is, one of these two is inconvenient. Move the hot air one. This is all in construction radius, so we should be fine. So we're gonna turn this way. And we're just gonna go to 3, I think. The fuel is passed through. Get these set up. I'll leave it extensible. I think that's fine. And then the hot air is now in slightly the wrong position, so we need to go up, around, and over. The hot air there. And then take out the inserters here. And we need 3, 3, 3. And then output is 2. And that's currently on the right side of the belt, so we need it to be on the left side of the belt. And then I can just merge in with that. I think that works. And then rubber stoppers. Boost up that number a little bit. Give ourselves a bigger buffer. And glassware, we'll do a little bit of a bigger buffer. Hopefully we're not overfilling this. We've got 144. So that's 24, 44, 69, nice, 114. Yeah, we're fine. Versus 144 stacks. Okay, so now the last thing we need is pure sand for molten glass. So we're doing pure sand plus powdered quartz, which I don't have powdered quartz. So I actually need 2 steps here. And the pure sand, we might have to put on a stacked belt. I'm actually not totally sure how we're gonna do this. So these guys make crushed quartz, which then needs to be ball milled, and that's at 5 a second. So we only need 5. No, we only need 1 ball mill? Are you for reals? That's pretty insane. I believe that's correct. Wow. So we only need 1 ball mill for all of that. And then what I'm gonna do, weirdly enough, we're gonna redo all this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the pure sand stacked on this side of the belt. We're gonna need a requester. We already have a requester here. For 30 stacks of plastic, I'm pretty sure that leaves me with 42 stacks of pure sand, and pure sand stacks to twice as much, so I think we're okay here to request like 35 stacks of pure sand. And what I'm gonna do is what am I gonna do? Because they're inconveniently shaped areas. Huh. I guess I'm gonna have to do this to get 2 stack inserters on pure sand. And then that way it can be stacked up. I do want it to be closer. And then it's on the correct side of the belt. come down to here. Do that. Okay, so then it's on the left, which is correct. So then it'll be on that side. It'll come up to here. It'll stay on the left, which is all fine and dandy. This now gets redirected to here. And I'll loader because it's 5 a second. Quartz left. So then we've got stone on the right side here and pure sand on the left side. So then this guy outputs mostly powdered quartz, which needs to be on the right side, and gravel, which needs to join the stone. So why don't we loader? I guess we want to load her onto a side. Okay, so now we've got 3 things. We've got stone, gravel, pure sand, and powdered quartz. We've got 4 things on this belt. And we are still good to go in the sense that on the left side will only be the pure quartz. So then we need to filter, or pure sand. So then we need to filter stone and gravel out. And we need to filter pure sand and powdered quartz left. There's no way to filter 2 things left or 2 things right, so I'm gonna need 2 filters here. There's gotta be a better way to do this. This is already stone only. I don't need to combine that. No, this is stone. Yeah, no, I don't think there's a better way to do this. I think I'm gonna need 2 more splitters. Because that'll need to be stone right. And then we've got the pure sand left. And then this can be gravel right. And now we've got stone, and now the pure sand will be all the way to the left, and the powdered quartz will be on the right. So this is now what we're feeding to the buildings, and this is now our trash, which I will actually back down around this side. So this is the trash belt, which is getting fed to... crap. Only a stone trasher. That's unfortunate. So, what can we do about that? I could make a multi-trasher. I could try to burn it. I could... It's a pretty small amount of gravel total. I could turn it into saline water, maybe? That is less than 1 a second. That's only half a gravel a second. Could just saline water? I don't know. It's just such a small amount of gravel, it feels pointless to do anything with it. So... what if we... slightly changed this. Powdered quartz. And then we have a gravel. And then I don't need this. Well, I just don't need that part. I do still need to merge it because the thing on the left is coming from the right, and I mean I could just side load, I guess. No, but I need this stone to go over, so this splitter is necessary. Okay, anyway, and then you're gonna be gravel, and I think what I'm gonna do is just bring that down here, because I've already got a burner set up, and we'll just burn that gravel. That is totally fine. And get another RoboPort over here. Get a power pole right there. And I mean, I think we're golden. Powdered quartz. This is a problem. I gotta go fix that immediately. I screwed that up. Shoot. Shoot. Go, 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 go. Look at this. We're almost at 250 hours of playtime. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. I am so excited for red circuits and chemical science and beacons someday. I don't think we're going to get there by 300 hours though. Next step after this, by the way, is we're going to work on upgrading Seaweed modules and maybe pYanodons. And there's also the pYanodons turd, which one of these makes acid gas, which could take care of our sulfuric acid problems forever, which seems pretty attractive. Okay, so this is a problem. Stop what you're doing. In fact, the whole thing. Just stop the whole thing. Well, we still need the stone. Just not the pure sand. Now the stone is over here. Yeah. Okay. Now the stone does this. Okay, so stone is good. And now we should be able to switch this over. This is also a much more efficient recipe in terms of how much molten glass we make per unit of fluid fuel. Look at that. We make 50 in the same amount of time that this made 30. So we're making 66% more with the same fluid fuel cost, which means we're only using about half as much fluid fuel. Weirdly enough, I think we're using 66% of the fluid fuel. Is 1 over 1.667 point... Oh, it's 0.6. So we're using 60% of the fuel to make the molten glass. The rates are now a problem. We need 2 inserters apiece. I don't think we'll be able to support more than that. Yeah, that's using up to... Well, no, that's using 5... No, we can support the full rate. So that means I do need 3 inserters a pop. Okay. There we go. So now we're making all the molten glass up to 125. Which can far exceed our usage here. Can exceed our usage there, so we can make these full-time. And we can actually, if we're not making the other forms of glass, we can actually make glassware at full rate too. I doubt we're making enough boron trioxide or rubber stoppers though. 4 rubber stoppers a second. Are we making that much? Where's my rubber plant? We have up to 1.6 a second. That's it. And no rubber. Rubber's stopped up because of latex. Latex is stopped up because of sodium alginate, formic acid. Formic acid is stopped up because of formamide, which is stopped up because of ammonia. Ammonia is stopped up. It's not. It's not stopped up. Interesting. Urea. This recipe, I think, can't come soon enough. But it's still a ways away, unfortunately. But that one's going to be a pretty big ball game. Being able to turn blood into urea will allow for pretty much all animals to turn into ammonia, right? 20 urea makes 100 ammonia, and 100 blood makes 10. So 100 blood will make 50 ammonia, is what that will turn into. Yeah, I mean, this is doing the best it can. It's running constantly. If we look at ammonia production, it's been pretty consistent over the last hour. There's a few dips here and there. I wonder what those dips are for, actually. Huh. I wonder if we're running out of coke or copper too soon. Like, is our buffer big enough? Buffer's pretty massive for both 50 stacks and 70 stacks. Either way. Plastic's looking good. There's some ammonia. Let's follow this bad boy. Just enjoy, relax, enjoy the garden. I assume he's going to help make rubber. Yep. There we go. That should kick these on. That'll kick these on. And that'll kick these on. Which will kick these on. How is rubber doing, by the way? It's okay. It's certainly not full, but it's not empty either. So I think this is gonna back up eventually. Even at the rate we're currently making ammonia, I think we're making more rubber than we need. Now, regarding stoppers, I don't know if we're making enough stoppers. I think we might actually need more here, which is an inconvenient reality because I put this in a weird spot. I think I want to redo this to make it a little taller. I think I want 4 of them. So I think I'm just gonna split rubber off here. And then what I'll do is I'll have the what's this called? Fiber? Yeah. Fiber go there. And the insertion rate should be fine. In fact, I can do mechanicals here. I do need electric on the output though. Alright, and then that will be rubber stoppers to there. Okay, that should work out. I didn't destroy any pathways of fluids or anything, so that should all work. I think we're good. Cool. Okay, back to glass. Is there anything else we need to do here, or are we solid? Looking like we're pretty solid. Do I need? You know what I might need to do, actually, is put it on both sides of the belt and then do this. Wait. I'm doing something wrong. Hold on. Just do that. The reason is because that way both of the inserters can actually run at their full rate. because if they're competing for the same side of the belt, this one is waiting sometimes, and it actually slows down the output rate. And we need the full output rate. Remember, it's like 12.3 a second, and I need about 25 a second, so we need both of those to be going full time. And this way they will go full time. And one of them should back up eventually, if we're getting enough. And they won't back up if we're not getting enough. Because a fully saturated belt here would be 22. Oh, a fully saturated half belt's only 22.5. So that's actually not quite enough. Yeah, it's actually only enough for 9 Glassworks. So one of these will always be idle. We should see 9 of them running. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy with that. And yeah, so overall we should see glassware increasing in production. So we're at 34.6 over 10 hours. We're at about 80 over the last hour, but we were peaking out at 100 a minute, no matter what. That was our peak. And now we're gonna be averaging, it looks like 130 a minute. It's not that much faster. Feels odd. I guess it's because the Petri dishes are catching up. Yeah, it looks like we're almost buffered on Petri dishes. I think we're making far more Petri dishes than we need. Though, I don't actually know if that's true either. How many Petri dishes are in this shebang? 1.5? But do any of these things require Petri dishes? I don't think so. Hard to tell. Because the fish, I don't think we're using Petri dishes for any of their inputs. Flavonoids might. No, flavonoids are just Yadels, right? What are flavonoids again? Yeah, Yadels and Seaweed, so there's no Petri dish input there. I'm not sure. I think we're fine. I think I can chill. Uh-oh. There go all of my backing up of Petri dishes. But we need both. I don't think there's much else I can do here. Optical sets we're making enough, right? 0.3, yeah. I mean, the important note is to look at this. Look at the fluids and look at molten glass. The important note is to look at how much more we're making molten glass. Because, like, we're using the molten glass in some form or fashion. So if we look previously, we were peaking out at 4.2, 4.3K. That was our best. Now, we're making 6K. And probably even a little higher once it settles in. Yeah, 6.3K, 6.4K, 6.5K. So that is pretty great. Maybe even 6.7. So that is molten glass done. And now we're gonna work on the upmarking of flora and fauna. We said we were gonna do that. Didn't I set up a new place for it? This one. Yeah. We're gonna add a tag, and the tag is gonna be alien life. Let's do seaweed, because that's the first one we're gonna do. And I'll do the Mark III. Is this a dashed word? Upmarking? No. Let's call it upmarking. Alright. So this is our first upmarking. Now, we've got these long boy chests, and let's look at Seaweed Mark II. So Seaweed Mark II. We need Mo 03, fertilizer, and seaweed. That's it. and it's made in a seaweed crop facility. And then Seaweed Mark III, which we will actually research soonish. Just needs the same things, plus saline water, plus tailings. So I've already got the third thing here. This is going to be easy peasy. I don't know how many crop facilities we need though. So let's be careful with this. So crop facilities, I'm going to start with 4. That may be overkill. May not be overkill. 0.22 a minute. So what is that per hour? 1.2. That's only 12 an hour. I think 4 is actually a reasonable number. And then I need to grab seaweed modules to put into those. And then we're looking at seaweed, Mo03, and fertilizer. So we'll do seaweed. How much a second? And this is something I don't mind too much if it doesn't run at full rate. So 1 a second means a stack of seaweed is 1 minute. So 10, let's do 10 request threshold for this one. So we're gonna do maybe 14 stacks of seaweed. Mo03, Mu3 as I'll call it. 14 stacks of Mu3. And fertilizer was 0.16. Am I gonna need fertilizer for other upmarking though? Maybe? It's used in a million things. It looks like it's used to upmark Tufra. It's used to upmark sap, which I'll probably have to do again over here. Grod. Guargum and Fawoji. Okay, yeah. So I'll just request a bunch of fertilizer as well. Fertilizer. 15. Okay. And channel wantify all these. What am I doing now? I filter. I can wait on the filtering. This is upmarking A. Call it upmarking A. A1. Because we might have another block for upmarking. So this is the A block. Upmarking A block. Okay, so seaweed. And then we're gonna need channel 1 for all of these. Let me get some lamps. Those are gonna be the channel 1 doodads. These are gonna be channel 0 for building purposes. One of these is straight. Okay. So these will be channel 1. Water-wise, I believe 1 pump jack will be more than sufficient. Alright, get these hooked up. And then, yeah, I think we can just requester chest on each. And how do I want to do providing? That is actually a very good question. Do I want to active provider chest and put them all into a storage chest in the area? Or just passive provider chest with filtered inserters? And then I can just run the buildings based on logistics on channel 1. Or run the output inserters. But then I'm running the output inserters either way based on the... So then let's just do it this way. So just the classic out and in. And then these are going to be connected to the logistics network. I mean, specifically, no. Filter doesn't matter. I want that. And how many do I want? Because these are needed for the tier 3s at 5 apiece. So we need hundreds and hundreds to make dozens and dozens. I mean, 100 makes 20 of the other ones. So 500 would make 100 modules, which is enough for 10 buildings. Buffered. That's fine for an initial buffer, I think. And then I just have to make sure to change those to channel 1 as we get there. Change these to channel 1. So now I've got a little channel 1 network here. Okay. Your Mo 03, your fertilizer. Allow that to buffer a bit more. And now we just need to deliver a bunch of bots. I guess I can do manually. And in the auto mall, I'm gonna increase this to 100. Because I just have the feeling we're gonna need a lot more bots than 50 at certain times. Cool. Look at that research go. Alright, let me grab some bots. I can figure out a way to automatedly deliver these at some point, but for now this is good enough. Hey, we finally have enough gearboxes. Doesn't that feel good? How's power been? You know what? Now that we finally have enough materials... Oh, by the way, I am so sorry I'm forgetting your name at this moment, but I had messed up this output of treated wood. I hadn't filtered it, so this filled up with a lot of extra stuff. Look at all this niobium that ended up here. And even some intermetallics, so that's kind of funny. But because of how I have this set up, it should be fine at this point. Alright, so anyway, continuing our... I wonder what happened with this. Do they not understand how to do water fill? Can they not water fill over ore? That might be the problem. I wonder if that's what happened there. So let's have them landfill then. Because I know they can handle landfill. Alright, and then... One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should complete the box there. Get us another 60 megawatts. Well, 72, because there were those two that never got built. So there's some more power. Currently, we've got a solid 354 from our tidal, which is nice. Okay, let's go throw the bots into... Upmarking. I also need a new Vrauk pen. That needs to go on our list. Fix oxide super trasher. Wait, did I not do that? Was that on my list twice? Hold on. Thought we did that. Oh. No, because that has... Why does that have oxides in it? Also, the gravel... Oh, gravel stacks to 200. Okay, so that's fine. And is rich dust... Okay, wait, so I've got 12K. So that's 60 stacks, 60 stacks, 60 stacks. That's 180 stacks. Plus gravel, which can go to 50 stacks. Sand, which can go to 50 stacks. And iron oxide, which can go to 50 stacks. I have the wrong... I need more... I need another 50 slots, right? And stone. Because if I'm subtracting 30 stacks... Yeah, hold on. I'm pretty sure I need more here. Okay, so that should fix that. I don't know if that's what I was intending to even fix originally. But it does need to be fixed. I think maybe I was just intending to get rid of those iron oxides. That feels semi-familiar. Okay, you're channel 1, you get the 50 bots. And then as for requests, we should just be able to do like, because the recipe time here is 25 seconds. 25 seconds on, and we're at full speed. So, no, we're at 1000% speed. So this is actually a short recipe then. Wait, is that right? Oh, sorry, crafting speed is 1. I was looking at plus 1000%, and I was like, oh, that's 10 times speed. No, it's 10 times, it's actually 11 times the speed, which is probably 0.999 or whatever, or 90909 or 91111. I don't know. Decimals are weird. 4, 5, 6. Okay. Shoot. Knew I did something wrong. There we go. There we go. Seaweed Mark II is a go. And let's go fix that Oxides Super Trasher. Which was where? Here. And then that'll probably be the last thing we do this episode. This has been a successful gardening experience. Got the Mark II Seaweed going, and this will be where we do lots of Mark II and 3 stuff from now on. And I want to automate all of them. And I want to automate them in such a way where we actually can provide them on channel 0 again, kind of like my auto mall, so that way my bots can insert modules rather than me doing it manually. And there might be some situations where I need to do it manually because it's too expensive or whatever, but at least for now. Alright, I'm gonna have to do a thing here. Input priority right. Chest. Loader. Okay. I'm just gonna help you out so I can fix this. And then grab the oxides. The good news is I have enough rare earth oxides to last me about 1 billion years. Like, not 1 billion years, but it's gonna be a long... Oh, come on. Are you serious? That's so annoying. Actually, that's fine. Because we're input priority for both lanes, so... That's fine. Yeah, my consumption rate of rare earth oxides has been 0.4 a minute. Where do these even go? They're going to cobalt fluoride. What's cobalt fluoride going into? Flutech PP6, which is going into the artificial blood. That's right, that's right. Wow. Yeah, and we've got a lot of extra. So that'll last me a while. And it's good that it'll last me a while because this uses ammonia. And why am I making ammonia from urea here of all places? I don't actually know. I don't think I can tell you why I'm doing that here of all places. And that only makes 80 ammonia. 1 belt of urea. I assume my urea production is not greater than that. Yeah, it's only about 2 a second. Yeah. Ammonia is the problem, seems. Alright, let's check on glass. We're out of stoppers. Did I mess up the belting here, or did I screw something else up? No, we're just out of stoppers. Did I mess up stoppers? Nope. In fact, we just got a train full. Yeah, there's no other way to make these, right? Yeah, that's the only way to do it. Okay, well, overall glassware was doing better until we ran out of stoppers. And it should be doing better again once we get stoppers back. I guess the last thing to check on is the boron trioxide. How much am I making of that? 1 a second? Oh, yikes. We need way more boron trioxide. I mean, I'm capped out at 1 a second here. I don't think there's alternative recipes. Not without turd stuff. Boric acid, no alternative recipes. Dibarain. I don't think there's any alternative recipes there. It's a byproduct there, but yeah. Okay, so I guess the next thing is increase boron trioxide. That's what we'll do in the next episode. And apparently we ran out of trains? I was talking about this on my Discord. I wish there was a way, or did I talk about this on the video? I don't remember. I wish there was a way to tell CyberSyn to ignore small blips. Like, I don't mind if we're short a few trains for a few seconds. But if we're short like 10 trains for 5 seconds, or if we're short 2 trains for like 5 minutes straight, then that's starting to tell me I need to add more trains. But like, it's a healthy system if once in a while we don't have enough trains, right? Because that just, like, if train requests are randomly distributed and you have just a fixed amount of trains, on average, you're going to have some times where demand is higher than supply. Unless you have your supply line above the demand sine wave, right? And it's not going to make a perfect sine wave, but it'll be some sort of chaotic wave with high parts and low parts. And so I'm okay if demand sometimes gets over supply, as long as the average is well underneath supply. But this is always going to pop up sometimes, unless your supply is always greater than demand, which might not be necessary. So anyway, so it's kind of like you just have to pay attention if it's like a lot of trains are missing. Like right now, holy crap. Like what did I just do that made it so that we need 50 billion trains? Was it the tidal generators, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna call it an episode there, and in the next one, we'll maybe be working on boron trioxide, but having a great time still with Pi Season 3. It's really a great mod pack. Now that I've put this much time, I think this is my record, by the way, for sure, of longest played Factorio save of all time. I don't think I've ever put this much time into one save, period. And now that I've put this much time in to Pi specifically, I'm just struggling to imagine playing anything else. I mean, I'm sure I will, but Pi is just so great in so many ways, and just the way that it works out is really enjoyable. So I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really excited for beacons. I really want to make it to beacons because that's something I've never done in pyanodons, and they've got a unique system, and even getting to modules would feel nice, but we're still away from that. Yeah, so the problem here is these are not going to be able to output their sand, but as soon as gravel gets onto this belt, then this will stop. And if pure sand is already backed up, this stops because gravel's here, but then sand will keep I think it's good. Anyway, all right, well, I'm going to call it an episode there for reals. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.